Zahra Bidden is led home by her teenage nephew, HAMID Abbas. Zahra was blinded almost 20 years ago when she stepped on an anti-personnel mine in a field close by. Her brother was killed by a landmine 2 years later.
It has had deep psychological effect on my life. I often feel like I'm a dead person. What use am I to anyone? The area we live in is still contaminated with bombs. Many young people have died.
Zahra lives in the Basra neighborhood of Betran in southern Iraq. Its name roughly translates to the place of amputees. More than 150 people have been killed and many more injured in Betran by buried bombs from Iraq's wars over the last 30 years. In a house close by, we meet Malik Hamid. His leg was blown off 6 months ago when he stepped on a mine while searching for scrap metal, which he used to sell to supplement his income as a construction worker.
Now I live off the charity of my friends. I survive on their generosity. I have no social security or pension. The depression is overwhelming. I can't work to support my children, and that frightens me.
This is the area where Malik was injured. It is littered with military debris from a war that finished 3 decades ago. The Iran border is around 6 kilometers in that direction. This area was effectively the front line during the Iran-Iraq war, a war that ended more than 30 years ago, and yet this area remains one of the most heavily mined in the world. Around 100 kilometers away, close to the Kuwaiti border, unexploded ordnance teams search for cluster bombs dropped by the US Air Force on Saddam Hussein's army during the 1991 war. There are huge areas like this across southern Iraq contaminated from the 2003 US-led invasion of Iraq too. The tiny fragments of these bomblets are potentially lethal up to 30 meters. Experts say, in addition to the vast areas littered with bombs like these, there's more than 800 square kilometers of minefields that need to be cleared around Basra alone.
Since the war on ISIL in the north of the country, the international donors and government attention has focused on refugees and clearance of ordnance there. But they must not forget us in the south. This region is the most heavily polluted with unexploded munitions in Iraq.
Back in Betran, Malik sits with his 2 sons, afraid for his family's future. He says he expects many more people will suffer the hidden remnants of Iraq's wars for many years to come. Stratford, Al Jazeera, Basra.